hello everybody, Thy Lord Roots here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Cities. So, we've had a couple of things that we're going to need to take care of. We've already started this industry here. But there is a slight problem in that we do not quite have everything that we need here. Certainly, fires are becoming a bit of an issue, and we would like to possibly expand. Well, let's look at the expansion opportunity here, because we do have this loan that was taken out, but we can take this guy out as well. And that'll help us tremendously. So we'll take global credit. And one of the things I want to do is I want to extend this guy here. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to create another 3-lane road. And make a few connections with it. Let me just zoom out a bit so that we can get these guys connected. And the idea is going to be that I'm going to create the rest of this as several sectors. This is going to become my industrial area, or my residential area here. And we do want to create a sort of thing here that we can take advantage of. So, as we do this, do a number of things. We'll, of course, create these on-ramps here. And really, sharp turns like this are not the best idea. But we can avoid that to some degree. The main thing is we want these guys to be able to get on the highway and hop over here. That means we're going to want to do something kind of like this. Where now we will have... Okay, that was not quite what I wanted to do. Let's change this because... that is very... It's not good, let me put it that way. Now with a loan like this, we can begin to add more in the way of commercial zones. So I will get to building real quick, and I will be back when we have created the result here. Okay, we are now back, and here you can see that we have improved our city by adding in another sector, rather. Of course, there are other things we can do as well. Particular, good. For me to take this guy here. And solve the issues associated with him. And now that is, it's an okay layout. We have not quite preserved our circle as such, but, no more people will live here. If we look at our water coverage, it's not bad. But there are other things I want to do. In particular, I want to create a high school, because we're missing one of those. So I'm going to gate it up here, like that, and hopefully... I'm hoping that it's facing the right way to be accessible, which I believe it is. Looks about like it. Let's unpause and see how that changes. Oh, we missed a couple of zones here. One of the things about what we're doing now, of course, is I'm totally reorganized. Oh no, no, that's not commercial, that is residential. Let's do something about that. It's weird. Now in a serious amount of debt. Yeah, I seem to have screwed this up a bit. In fact, it may be easier for us to simply go through and take the paintbrush and paint over this. Because, in reality, that is not quite what we want these guys here to be residential. And we are now in debt because everybody is rebuilding. Because I destroyed a lot of houses in the process of bringing this guy up. But it's closer to the way we want it to be. So why don't we just run time forward, hopefully as people move in, because we've evicted a ton of people. That will help us quite drastically. We have used all of this money here. Housing demand has gone back down. And we are in some serious debt. Because people are just sort of trickling in. And in reality, like, this is... We're gonna start one sector at a time with this. But this is going to be our deal here. Oh, they're angry at us because we're doing forestry. Well, you know what? I didn't see you complaining earlier. You said you wanted jobs. So unfortunately, most of this town is vacant now because I deleted everybody. I guess at least our debt is coming down just very slightly. Because there is now demand for people to move in. I mean, that will help too. Everybody in the area will at least have a high school they can go to. And I'm thinking I'm going to reserve this spot for maybe a university. I can't really do much about the whole park situation until people move in. Which they are doing. It's just taking a really long time. Let's see if we zoom out. What else we have going on here? I think this guy over here we had already established that there are a couple of farms here that we could get. They are selling mail-order babies. Now, unfortunately, a few of these businesses are missing power, and we have already taken out our loan. It's going to be quite a while before we can get that back. But, that could be useful for us. I mean, there is more demand for residential. What is this? Eco-terrorist, maybe? Let's see. Not enough customers. Well, that's a shame. You know, I guess it's time for us to go to our budget and crank things up a little bit, because we do need a little bit more in the way of power. And we will also need, in addition to that, the ability for us to put down a clinic, which I am not yet able to afford. So again, we are operating in debt. And that is a bad thing, because nobody likes debt. Yes, yes, shut up about the municipal health care. We can at least get highways pretty soon. You know, I'm just thinking that maybe I had not thought through this well. Because this really, you know, the way I've done this, it would be better to have a roundabout. And we are able to support a roundabout now. We don't really need all that much. But the demand is up, and we will, you know, maybe that means we can take out another loan. Hey! Well, there we go. You know, taking out loans is something I don't really care to do. But, at this point it is needed. We need to connect these businesses up and I really see no other way aside from doing it with a loan. Unfortunately, we're in an okay position here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tear all this down. Because it will be necessary for us to be able to go back and forth here. So let's completely rebuild our infrastructure here so that we're able to deal with that. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, mind you, because well, one of the issues we have here is that you're so close here. But it has to be done. I mean, it's... because it's not really effective what we're doing. So I remember the last time we handled this, I had something kind of like this structure. Where we went over and round. So and I'm just going to make the assumption here that this two-way road, or this one-way road, would be okay with that. Although, you know, interestingly enough, I think we will be able to. The thing we want to avoid here are really sharp turns. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. These really obscenely sharp turns. Okay, just a couple of things too. This guy, of course, needs to be upgraded, but we're going to downgrade this guy. Because there's no reason that we should really have to depend on this so much. I think we've got the problem that we do partially due to the fact that you know, we've got this bottleneck here. So let's zoom in, maybe. Not upgrade. It would be good if we could perhaps find an amicable resolution to this. That would allow us. This is space already occupied by our one. No, that's not it at all. Because these guys are going to be leaving. slope too steep. Well, we can assume here that anybody that wishes to leave will do so. Whoa. We'll just do this. Because this is not quite what I had in mind, really. Okay, let me get... Alright, we are back, and I'm just going to try this real quick. Maybe... You know, maybe better things will happen because of it. I think having bi-directional traffic is a much better thing here. This way, I think when we really do run into traffic issues, it should be taken care of. However, this does leave a bit of an issue for us because there will be a bottleneck here, and there's not much that can really be done about that. As for this loop here, I mean, I think we're okay, to be honest. We just gotta be careful about this. And we should pretty soon. I took out that loan thinking maybe I could do something. That electricity will still need to come up, of course. So I think we should definitely entertain the notion that we could improve electricity. Residential demand, incidentally, is getting pretty high. So I'm going to get all these guys here filled out. No. Let's not do that. Anybody decides to move in there, let's just fill this in. Good old-fashioned way. And then we'll do our healthcare, of course, because people are really starting to complain about that, and I'm getting a little bit tired of hearing it. Now let's satisfy that residential demand. And maybe we could have one of these roundabouts every other deal. So we'll have one up here too at the top. But I'll make a more proper one, I think. Because part of the issue is that we don't really have the room. Now, I might be able to upgrade that road eventually. I just don't see too much in the way of traffic issues, but having a bi-directional road really does make a tremendous amount of sense. And that's something that we're going to have to factor into our plans. Okay, so the healthcare facility, I think, is going to have to come pretty soon. That's healthcare right there. And we need some 6,000 or so to do that. We'll want to put it along a major road for sure, whenever we're ready. Maybe about here. We're pretty good now. That should raise our values a little bit. And then, of course, we have power issues going on here because, you know what? I don't really know what's causing these power issues. I think we're under budget for power. So I'm going to crank that back up to normal because we are doing okay now. And because we should have turbines pretty soon. Now, incidentally, we do have that highway ramp now that we can utilize. Let's just see what we can do to, I mean, this is okay. we can avoid backing up. That should be fine. Let's see what we get for the next guy here. Next guy, we get city planning, an oil industry, and then down the center here, we're going to ban the heavier traffic once we get that ability. Lots of ambulances. One thing for sure that I do want to do here now is, you know, there's, there's not much in the way of room for housing here. That was not quite what I had in mind. Okay, let's get this zoning issue figured out here, because we do have some pretty good places rather, for our housing. In fact, they want a park, so I'm going to give it to them. Let's see, can we in fact go a little bit bigger? We might as well do that. We'll have one here on this side too. And these guys should be somewhat satisfied. Though accessibility is an issue. And demand for businesses is quite high here. Let's see what else we got. Do we have anything related to power? Yeah, we have these turbines. They produce up to 14 milliwatts. So that'll help our energy issues a little bit. But yeah, I think, now we really do need to... I mean, most people are happy. Healthcare is taken care of for the most part, but you know, we'll want graveyards, I'm sure. About education. We are at capacity on education, so we need to build another school. What about high school education? I mean, the majority of these people are educated. So there we go. Before too long, we should get high density, I think. What we need for high density, I don't think that is until the next one. However, we do have new buildings as well. We have this oil plant. And improved hospitals as well. As for these guys here, you know, I'm thinking we should probably do something to expand our industry just a little bit. Because we will have issues with industry soon. I don't mind going grid-like for this, even though maybe people don't like it as much because of the fact that... Let's just pause that. I think got that a little... Well, you know what, that's okay. A little bit of wasted land is... better than nothing. Well, one thing maybe we should check on is our water consumption. We're still pretty good on it. Yeah, I mean, could be better. But I mean, there's really not much that... Well, you know, we'll just go ahead and take this, I think. Open up more in the way of industry for us, and possibly, you know, take advantage of the fact that we have room for all of these industries here, because we do need money and places for people to work. And we'll get this guy hooked up pretty soon once we get ourselves more or less, I think, taken care of here. Now, some of these dudes here are simply not going to be able to handle this new deal here. And they're going to be complaining about, you know, the fact that there's no water for one. So there we go, more businesses, or rather more farming related businesses. This entire island is going to be good for that. Residential demand, of course, is going to go up, and as for our loans, we still have quite a bit of things to do on our loans here. So now is a good time for us to... Oh, there's a brownout. Still not nearly enough electricity. What does this mean about our water? Water is something we don't want to mess with. We need a graveyard, it looks like. Well, at least, you know, we're going to have the capability to deal with this. I think it is more important that we deal with the power situation. Since there's probably a good place we could put this, I reckon, maybe here on the corner. Except we don't really have any place on the corner to put it, but if we maybe put this guy here. Oh, we're back in the clear now. Anyway, we'll leave it here, I think, and see where we go from there. At any rate, this has been Thy Lord of Root, and I will see